Shit. Okay. Finally, I'm gonna do episode 2 of 2.5 Braincells podcast, but only with half a brain cell today because time management is a bitch. And the movie that we are going to be talking about today, and by we I mean myself, is called Noblemen, which is a movie that qualifies as niche, technically speaking, in terms of global releases, but quite not niche in terms of India, because they've got like half of Bollywood involved, which is awesome. But here we go. Let's start with a little introduction summary from Wikipedia, as always. Noblemen is an Indian English language drama film directed by Vandana Kataria. The film stars Kunal Kapoor, Ali Haji, Ivan Rodriguez, Mohammed Ali Mir, Ankit Kulkarni, Muskan Jaferi, Shan Grover, Sonia Razdan, Manav Chauhan, Parag Gupta, and Abhay Narang in major roles. So literally everyone. The story is about a 15-year-old boy struggling with his adolescent years who is terrorized by a gang of bullies in a posh boarding school. This sets forth a chain of events that leads to a loss of life and innocence. The film is backed by Yotli Films, a production venture of Saragama. The film is a thematic representation of The Merchant of Venice, which is a play. The official teaser of the film was launched on 25th May 2018, and the film's Asian premiere followed closely on 26th May at Kashish. So, Noblemen premiered at the New York Indian Film Festival in 2018, and Ali Haji won the Best Child Actor, was the main protagonist, award. It was released theatrically in India on 28 June 2019. The film is 121 minutes long, forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, so the main plot is that it is winter in a prestigious all-boys boarding school where children continue to practice age-old rituals and codes bound by years of hierarchy of the popular norm. In India, Shay is the main character, and he's constantly picked at by the main perpetrator, Arjun, the tall athletic sports captain, and his best friend, Badal. Shai and Pia, the two main protagonist friends, Pia being the spunky daughter of the new junior school history teacher, are cast as Bassanio and Portia in the Founders Day production of Merchant of Venice, which is a Shakespearean play. But Badal, the son of a feigning movie star, wants Pia, and thus the role opposite her. Murali, the charismatic drama teacher, unknowingly adds salt to Badal's wounds by casting him as Shai's understudy. Indignant, Badal vows to get Shay's part at any cost and turns to his buddy Arjun, the school sports captain, to help him secure the role by ousting Shay. It is a battle of wit against brawn, endurance against torture, courage against disgrace. The bullies brutally victimize Shay, hoping to break him, so he willingly relents his role. But Shay needs his role and will not budge, no matter what they do. Events take a sinister turn when Murali notices Shay's condition and intervenes to help him out. Now the whole school scorns upon him for being a rat. Humiliated beyond repair, Shay starts resenting Murali and begins to harbor a desire for revenge. This is the first step to his own undoing. The movie itself is positioned as a sort of screen version of the play Merchant of Venice, the main character being a representation of the same type of breakage of character leading to the bloodthirsty revenge, like I've said earlier. Let me just open this review that I wrote upon my first watch of the movie in 2020, a while ago. So pretty much a whole entire year ago that I watched this movie for the first time. And the first thing I wrote was basically this. The word for this movie is definitely revenge. Character, after suffering through the pain caused by others, can't suffer anymore and puts aside their morality to unleash the same on their abusers. And the part here is that I wrote is basically about how the movie itself was quite terrifying to me in the sense that they portrayed the villainy and the evilness of real people rather than over glorified antagonists. The main antagonist in the movie is someone who could actually exist in a school and who could actually do the things they did in the film. The villainy you teach me I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction. That is from The Merchant of Venice, which is said in the movie as part of the script by the main character, solidifying the juxtaposition of both plays. The film made great use of background music to convey the nature of the scene, and drawing from the main catalyst, Shakespearean play, which inspires the events, more like foreshadows the events, as they almost mirror each other. Exploration of the struggle of being homosexual in an extremely conservative community and what being severely abused can lead a good person to do. The main character started off as a typical child. I think they were in middle school, starting high school, so still quite innocent, but unfortunately due to the events that play out here, this innocent character, starting off with good intentions, commits murder over someone who is inexplicably, though doubtly, innocent as well, considering that towards the main character Shay, he has committed a sin of worsening his suffering, even though for the drama teacher himself, he was merely just attempting to help him and had good intention. In terms of a little critique that I wrote when I first watched it was that there were a lot of errors in the actual cinematography and things like special effects. For example, the actors were portraying the emotional weight of the scene quite well, but I couldn't take it seriously because of how the actor looked in terms of the wig, the makeup, special effects makeup, like the wounds and bruises, looked very much off and unrealistic, but it's not that big of a deal, considering that the acting was actually really good. I also said that the actors had some great moments and some not so moments, which is true. For about I'd say 60% of the movie, the acting was subpar. Not much was going on. It was mostly talking. But for the rest of it, the acting was amazing in terms of the scene in the locker room and the final execution scene, the execution of revenge, was well done and emotional in terms of acting performance. Now, we could talk a little bit about the music in the movie. The music of the film was composed by Sri Siram and Casey Loy. The song has been sung by Siraj Jahan before, and the use of music is actually quite subtle in this film, which is Not the same as many other typically Bollywood films where music is a really big part and is almost separated from the movie itself in terms of context and plot relevance. But in this movie, it is subtle. There are no extra musical numbers to portray anything. The music is purely used to accentuate the emotional effect of the scene and the performance. The score was great for the final execution of revenge scene in the pool at the very end of the movie. Really, yeah, very much subtle. Couldn't really tell if I could hear the music itself. It was mostly playing on this quiet but suspenseful moment with the instruments growing as the scene progresses and finally stopping once the character has passed. And to say a bit about the actual pool scene, I was genuinely surprised and even a little afraid by the actions of the main character, Shay. Because throughout the movie, you could tell, as I've already mentioned, he was an innocent man, a child, basically a child, just on the way to adulthood. And he seemed like someone who would not be able to do something so horrible. He had suffered a lot in his own life, so I wouldn't expect him to bring suffering upon someone else, but to mirror the play in which he was playing, he enacted the actions of the role of the character that he was selected to play by the drama teacher, or he enacted these actions towards the drama teacher himself in terms of revenge. The revenge was horrific, but also realistic. The way he had done it was very much raw and passionate. It wasn't quick. You could see the emotion, the hatred, the violent melancholy that has pushed him towards these actions in that moment when he is strangling his drama teacher in the pool. The only other person who he could relate to, the only other person who seemed to understand him, because throughout the movie you can see him really grow closer to the drama teacher, considering that there were rumors about the drama teacher being homosexual, what Shay was, and it also worsened his reputation, considering that he was hanging out so much with the drama teacher. So it is understandable why he would harbor resentment, as in the attempt to help Shay, his teacher essentially rats him out to the whole school, causing much more suffering and pain and fear to Shay. And therefore it is not fully unexpected, but nevertheless shocking, the actions that are portrayed in the pool scene. It is almost an act of betrayal, which is quite close to the play, the Shakespearean play in question. The play, The Merchant of... oh wait, I forgot. The Merchant of Venice, yes. The movie, the film in general was quite good. As I've said, I really enjoyed I've really enjoyed the deeper mirroring of the play, how it ties into the actions that take place, because they play them out on stage and then they manifest themselves in real life with real consequences and people. It's kind of putting it to life. And in terms of a rating on my Letterboxd account, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. 3 out of 5 because the quality of the movie in terms of special effects and costuming was very poor. But the plot, execution, and performance was great. Actually, I'm going to switch my rating right now. I'm going to edit it to 4, 3.5 or 4. I'd say 3.5 stars because it really was taking away from the experience when the character is in tears and torment about their situation that is very serious, but they look hilariously bad. They look hilariously and very rushly put together, like their makeup, the special effects makeup of like scars and wounds. It was very bad in some moments, really took away from the moment. The camera work was okay. In terms of the hues, the coloring, that was good. I'd say the tones of a scene really varied in terms of emotional substance. If for example, the scene where he's happily chosen, the main character, happily chosen to play a role that he wanted in a play because he enjoyed acting a lot. He was being noticed, and in a good way, for the first time. The hues are brighter, much brighter than those, for example, in the locker room scene, or not really locker room it was, but where all of his bullies were, and where he essentially got raped. As well, I would like to mention that yes, there was rape, not extremely graphic, but it was graphic. It was very long, uncomfortably so. It wasn't long, as in bad. They should have cut it short. No, it was the perfect amount of length that the audience will get uncomfortable, which is the intention. So that is understandable. But that scene, especially the scene afterwards where he's finally released and he goes back to the shower helpless, cannot reveal this to anyone, and takes a shower and there is blood everywhere. That scene, the pain, the fear, the anger was extremely well portrayed. So I really give that to the movie. They did well on this, in this sense. But the sad part about this film is that there is no happy ending, which is in part accurate to the Shakespearean plays in general. A lot of his plays are known to be tragedies that end up with anything but a happy ending. And now to conclude, I would like to say that I really do truly recommend anyone to watch this film and give it recognition, because it is quite unrecognized in terms of globally, internationally. I'm not quite sure how known it is in India, but I found it by accident on Netflix. At least it's on Thai Netflix, and it was enjoyable in terms of enriching and tragic, but beautiful in its way. Really do recommend watching this movie, but not watching it if you are in any way affected by things like graphic representations of rape in films. And I think it raises good. It raises awareness and how to say this, raises awareness and about the issue, and does a well represented depiction of the struggle that some people of different sexualities, like homosexual, have to deal with in conservative societies, like some parts of India, as represented by the movie. So I really do recommend it. And I would like to quickly shout out my letterbox since I have mentioned it. My username is Gucci, that is Guucchii. My little profile picture is me, but as a rat. So please do check it out if you wish to. I post my reviews, my initial reviews after watching a movie, or just random thoughts about these films. And of course I rate them all as well. So yes, and hopefully you enjoyed me rambling on about this film, because I really do enjoy it a lot. And we really took a big break, didn't we? We really posted one episode and disappeared, but here I am, coming in by myself, just half a brain cell today. That's why it's a bit shorter. Not much discussion that can be done with just me discussing it with myself. Thank you for listening if you have, and tune in for the next one. Hopefully it's gonna be, the whole cast reunited, me and Laura, but today it was just me, Lana. Yeah, if you didn't know who I was this whole time, which one of us, it is Lana, and it was nice talking to a microphone and staring off into space as I try to recall everything about this film. See you next time. I fucking want to strangle myself for procrastinating this long, but it's fine. It's moving along. Tune in next time. Bye bye.